Hi guys, welcome back to YNR Spoilers Thursday. Today I'm going to reveal a horrifying secret about Victor that will leave Claire in a panic. She might ruin all of Victor's plans. Claire discovers Victor is behind the disappearance of Lily and the twins, and she might suggest further investigation to see if she can uncover anything else. Claire might try to gather some information to pass on to Holden so he can share it with Kane. In return, Claire will want to know all the scandalous details about what happened between Holden, Audra, and the art dealer. Claire's discovery isn't like a bolt of lightning, but like a tiny piece of glass embedded in her palm. Initially a slight sting, but the more she tries to ignore it, the more it bleeds. What was happening in Genoa City seemed too coincidental to be mere chance, and Claire's intuition, honed by years of living in a family where power always came with secrecy, began piecing together the clues into a terrifying shape. Lily disappeared, the twins vanished, and the doors that seemed poised to open for the search kept closing at the last minute. A hand was manipulating the rhythm of the story, causing every crucial clue to veer off course, leading people in circles instead of straight ahead. Claire saw Victor's shadow in that rhythm, not because she wanted to believe it, but because she couldn't help but believe it. Victor didn't need to be present. He only needed to leave his effect an invisible force that drew those around him to adjust their behavior out of fear or self-interest. As that thought became almost certain, Claire saw no victory. A chill ran down her spine, for discovering that Victor was behind it all wasn't a solution, but the opening of a new abyss. If Victor was truly involved, things wouldn't stop at a disappearance. It was a strategy, a deliberate setup, and that purpose was often far more ruthless than anyone could ever imagine. Claire wondered where she stood in this game. Was she an unwitting observer who had stumbled upon the truth, or a pawn Victor hadn't yet managed to tighten the noose around his neck? The more she thought about it, the more she realized her greatest fear wasn't what Victor had done, but what he might do next if he felt threatened. And if Claire took another step, she would also be putting herself in the position of someone who knows too much. Kane didn't enter this battle with the impulsiveness of a defeated opponent, but with a cold, calculated approach, veiled in the calm demeanor of someone accustomed to living amidst counterattacks. After Phyllis's victory over Newman, Genoa was bathed in a dazzling light. The aura of Victor silenced every whisper, every glance of judgment. Kane understood that if he acted openly, Phyllis would not only see him, but crush him as she had done to anyone who dared to stand up to him. Therefore, Kane's audacious strategy began with what seemed paradoxical. He didn't attack Phyllis directly. He targeted the deepest needs of this power structure, the desire to keep Newman under its control, the desire to return the empire to Victor as an unchangeable arrangement. Kane convinced himself that this was just a power struggle. It was a way to reclaim meaning for the choices that had led to his downfall, a way to prove that he wasn't a mere bystander in the games of these powerful men. But the more he repeated that reasoning in his head, the more he realized another layer of motivation was creeping up like a shadow at the edge of a wall. Anger at being overlooked, an obsession with making Phyllis pay, and a yearning to be at the center, even if only for once, of a world where he had always been treated as an outsider. He needed support. That was as clear as a crack in glass. No one could snatch Newman back by willpower alone. Kane began to think of an alliance, not necessarily a vow of life and death, but a temporary intersection of interests. He looked around and read Genoa like a war map, who feared losing their foothold, who hated Phyllis, who wanted Victor back because they believed the old order was safer. In Kane's mind, that alliance didn't need to be public. The more ambiguous, the better. A network of half-hearted commitments, of unspoken nods, enough to generate momentum when the time was right. But this is also where Kane puts himself in the greatest danger. Anyone he touches could become a window through Phyllis can see what he's doing. And Kane knows that if anyone in the world lives by the ability to hear unspoken things, it's Phyllis. Phyllis doesn't savor victory the way others do. For her, victory is just a fleeting moment before her survival instincts click in like an alarm bell. In the end, what Claire feared most was an unanswerable question. Was she using Holden to relay information to Kane, or was Holden using her to bring another secret to light, a secret that could change the entire picture? And if Holden did share it with Kane, what would Kane do with it? Would Kane focus on saving Lily and the 2 children, or would he see an opportunity in the chaos? Claire didn't want to doubt, but in Genoa City, naivety was often punished. The story concludes on an open edge, where Claire is almost ready to give the information to Holden, but there's still a lingering unease in her heart, like an ellipsis. She doesn't know how much she'll have to pay for that exchange, nor does she know where Victor is at the moment, watching or waiting. And a strange feeling clung to Claire like a cold mist, as if the moment she decided to tell the truth, another truth would emerge from the shadows, casting doubt on everything she believed to be certain. And she couldn't stop thinking perhaps that was precisely what Victor was best at.